So everybody, welcome. I'm back another night for you guys. I took last night off. Let me see here. Okay. All right. So we'll let a few people sign on and we'll get started in just a moment. I am currently looking to see here so that I can find me on TikTok here so I can follow the stream on TikTok. This way I can see if anybody is writing any messages. But of course, I don't see it. Following. It's resetting. So anyway, there I am. I automatically came in there. Perfect. All right then. All right. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about psychic abilities. And so as people, we wait some people to log into the room. Last few nights we've been talking about spirituality and relationships. Look at me, I look a wreck, but I've been out in the wind. Guys, it's getting cold down here in the south and it's been raining and it's been kind of nasty. So it's Friday night. Let's see if we get some people to log in. Let's see who's home on this cold, rainy night. Oh, send in you message from Virginia. Hey Deidre, how you doing, love? I see you're here. We got a few more people sign in. We give them some time because I normally don't log in. I'm on Friday nights, but I am going to talk a little bit tonight about your psychic abilities and about connection and how to take advantage of those things. It's snowing up there by you. It's not snowing here. It's just rain. It's rainy and nasty. And we had some beautiful cold days down here, Deidre, and it was actually the weather was really nice. It was cold but nice. But today it was rainy and just nasty. But I mean, we've had some really nice cold days. So I can't really complain. Okay, we got a few people signing in. So tonight's topic is going to be a lot about your psychic abilities, not mine, but yours. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And I am here on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook. So I can see the messages on Facebook, and I'm looking to see if I have any on TikTok as well now. And I'm watching TikTok on a separate tap to watch live. Okay, so I am looking on TikTok to see if I get any messages on TikTok so that way I can respond to those as well. So that's good. And Magni does take these and he will cut them down a little bit short. Sad days because yes, Jimmy Carter's funeral was sad. We didn't get any mail the other day because of that too. I had to remind myself that. But yeah, they stopped the postal service, which was good in his honor. So yes, he was a good man. He was definitely a good man. They can't say nothing. They cannot say that man was not a good man. They can say what do you want. I don't care what any people say about him. You either loved him as a president or you didn't, but you can't say he wasn't a good man. He definitely did not live above his means, and he donated a lot of his life to service. So that was a wonderful thing about President Carter. He did donate, he did give a lot of himself up to service for others and helped a lot of people. But tonight's topic is going to be a lot about psychic awareness and understanding where your psyche comes from. And I'm going to try to see if I get some more people in the room, Deidre. We got just you and me right now. So we had a couple and then they came in and came out. And so I will get the topic rolling in just a moment. If anybody comes in and does have any comments, just please put them in. But the main thing I want to stress tonight, Deidre, is that everybody is born with the ability to tap into their psychic abilities. You are born with this. Everyone is born with it. It comes from the right brain, and we're all born with the right brain. At least most of us are. Some people are born with different. Some people are born with different types of brain issues or brain damages, And so that can hinder some of those abilities, but that's where it comes from. It comes from that side of your brain. And it's done through our senses, but usually when a piece of the brain isn't functioning right, it might accelerate or help you be more in tune or in touch with those abilities. And so that's really important to know. An example in Touching Eternity, one of our instructors is blind, is legally blind, and with that, his gifts are or I don't want to use the word stronger, but they flow differently for him, and he's able to express because of that. And he has some phenomenal validations because of that. He's a phenomenal medium, and it's because he doesn't have that ability of sight, so it helps him accentuate his abilities. And he's an excellent medium. That's Dominic Bogue. He's absolutely one of his a book out. So I would recommend if you want to look him up, Dominic Bogue, and he does have a book that talks a lot about his journey through his mediumship, and it talks a lot about his struggles growing up and how his development process. But everyone is born with those abilities to connect psychically and mediumistically. Everyone is can see, most people can see, smell, taste, hear. When one of those senses is taken away from you, it heightens the others. That's why people who are blind or can't hear the other senses will compensate, and that's how we communicate through those senses. And what I want you to understand is that, again, I'm gonna keep saying this throughout the evening as I talk about psychic awareness, is that everyone is born with these. Everyone is born. What takes it away from you as you get older, and that left brain starts to develop when you start school. And so Deidre, he is part of the Touching Eternity group. You can go to my website and learn all about Dominic Bogue, and then he has his own website, his own Facebook page. And you can locate him through my webpage. You can look him up on Facebook. So if you want to see more about Dominic, he's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human being. And he will be at Touch Eternity in June in Orlando. So if you would like to come meet him and learn from him and watch him work, because he'll be doing a demonstration of mediumship, he is phenomenal. And him and I both will be doing a demonstration in Orlando. So you'll get to see us work. So that's absolutely phenomenal. So again, you're born with it. And it's about believing, it's about trust, it's about continuing the developing of your right brain by doing things like art or writing or anything creative anything that's creative works the right brain and helps train it. So those are all good things to help keep that right brain functioning. Painting, drawing, anything that's works that creative side of your mind will help you. Now, things that hurt it would be things like accounting or concrete stuff, because it works that left brain. And so again, some people tend to use their psychic awareness easier than other people. Mamas who give birth to their children have that special energetic connection. And so when I teach energetics, I want y'all to listen to what I'm saying. When I teach energetics, it's about energetic connection. That also helps you get into that psychic or mediumistic connections. Okay? So I want you to think about those things. And then I want you to think about what happens in life as you go through life, and after you're born and you're born with all these gifts, what happens in life that changes you? Family, culture, society tells you you're not supposed to do it, tells you that it's a sin, tells you that Oh, you can't do that. Everybody's negative, negative, negative. But you can. You were born with these things. You are born with the ability to use these things, and I can prove that to you. I can show you that. I got exercises I can give you that will prove this to you. And you are born with these abilities. When you see psychics work and mediums work, those that are true psychics and true mediums, you know, there's a method to it. You have to learn how to do it. And I know you're going to get that joker out there. Well, why don't you have the lottery numbers? And why aren't you a millionaire? Because obviously you don't know how it works. There, like anything else, it works in a certain way. A psychic cannot, unless there's an energetic connection to those numbers, you're not going to be able to give them the lottery numbers. But let me tell you, I have called out the lottery numbers twice. However, it was too late, because I have twice sat in front of a television, and this is back in the day when the lottery first started. I was able to call out the numbers before they rolled out of the machine. But it wasn't because I was psychic. It's because I was tapping into the radio, the waves. I was tapping into the waves before they hit the antenna. And I was able to pick up the number before then. That is truth. Okay, so once you understand energetics, you will understand how it works. And I'm not special for doing that. Let me give you another example. How many times are you driving in a car and you're singing a song that you don't know the words for unless it's playing on the radio? But you can sing it while it's playing on the radio. But the minute it's not on the radio, you cannot sing that song. That's because you're tapping into the radio waves, the energetic waves, before they hit the radio box. So that's how it works. You are picking up the energetic signals. Now, with mediumship, it's a little different. You are going into the energetic person, but you're going into the energetic soul of the person, and you're making a connection. And sometimes, hey Tina, sometimes, like, I'm very good with future stuff, and I've had some mediums tell me, well, mediums can't tell the future, and dead people don't know the future. Oh, for me they do, because I've been able to get valid futuristic stuff from someone who's on the other side. And it's happened too many times with myself. And it just may be something that I've been able to do, that maybe that person hasn't. And like I tell people, that's why I never judge someone else's ability. And I say that each person has their own special connection. Sometimes it may just be an energetic psychic connection. Sometimes it may be a spiritual connection, but it may have different links into that spiritual connection. Not one of us, and I've not studied with anybody who can show me anything different, but I've seen and experienced too many things in my lifetime to understand that, yes, they can tell me some things in the future. Now, I don't think sometimes they will tell you things that you're not supposed, there's some things you're not supposed to know, for whatever reason, for karmic reasons, for whatever. But I do believe they can tell you things about the future, for validation purposes, for warnings, or for health, or because they want you to get something fixed, because maybe they don't feel it's they want you to get something fixed. Or like I've been able to predict I see a health reason through someone from the other side, and I've been able to help someone get some help from a doctor before it got bad. So, I believe those things can happen as well with your psyche. But what the main thing with tonight is that you're all born with this. And what you need to learn to do is create your language with the other side. Mine is mostly done in pictures and feels. Pictures and feels. I do get smells and tastes, and I do get some just knowing things or some gut feelings. But mine is mostly feels and sight. That's I see and I feel the most. But that's the language I've created through all the years of what I do. Now I've been doing this for a lot of years. So it's taken me a long time to build this up. But my biggest aha moment was when I started using energetics. And that's when I've been able to turn it on and off with just a breath. Like I can just basically just take a deep breath and I'm right in there. And it's just I can turn it on and off that simple. And it's become a natural part of my life now, where before I would always stress or freak out, or oh, I can't do that, or I don't know if I can do. Now it's just I just go in and trust it and do it. And that's a big turning point. And I have to thank the people that I've met along the way that have mentored me and have given me opportunities to study and given me opportunities to work and given me opportunities to practice. And it's also having the guts to practice. So I remember when I would never do a phone reading because I didn't like phone readings because of the way I see. I couldn't express what I saw over the telephone. So I really didn't like to do phone readings. But then I started doing video calls. Yeah, yes, Tracy. Hey, Susan. Yes, Tracy, you should be able to do that. I would say I would say journal the dreams and then meditate with them and see if it can lead and take you into something. But what I would say to you is what I've learned with and I don't know what type of dreams you're having. I'd have to probably sit with you. Hey, Alicia, I would have to sit with you and talk to you about like some of the things that I get in my head are very bizarre. So I have to bring them down into real life. You know what I'm saying? So like I have to bring them down into practicality. You know what I mean? So depending what picture it is, I'm like, okay, I know it isn't this, so it must mean this because that's too wild up there, and that's not probably really what that means. They probably just want my attention, so they show me something that's going to grab my attention. So it's not that, so it must mean that. An example might be, and I'm gonna give you this as a vague example. I've never really seen this, but like if I saw a volcano explode, I'm not going to think that I'm on an island with a volcano. I'm not going to take it literally that I've seen a volcano explode. I think I'm seeing something with a hot temper or something that's about to come to be a big problem that's going to erupt. I'm not going to say, oh no, there's, or I might say you're going to Hawaii. I'm not going to focus just on, and that's where a lot of people mess up. When they're learning their language, they take everything and some people see literally. And some things I do see literally, but sometimes I have to ask myself, is this practical or is this literal? Literal? Is it practical or is this way bizarre? Because I see a lot of bizarre stuff. And anybody that's been in any of my galleries know that I get I got stuff that make me blush. And it's hard to make Sid Patrick blush. Okay, but Sid Patrick blushes at some of the things I get in my head. And I'm like, where'd that come from? I'm reading this little old lady and they just showed me this. Oh, I can't tell her that. So I'm like, what does that really mean? But again, sometimes it's to grab my attention because when I'm sitting in a room full of people and I'm trying to focus on somebody, they want to make sure I'm reading that person and not somebody over there. So they'll do something bizarre to pull my attention. And so I got to remember that because Spirit's smart. They know what to show you, when to show you, how to show you. And so I always say that to people too. So yes, Tracy, getting back to hello, Holly Joe. So what I'm saying to you is when you have psychic dreams and they could be very specific. You know, I would write them down and then see it, you know, and meditate and see what's happening, and then see if it's truly like if it's happening just like you saw it, or is it, you know, or is it saying something to you that it's like it's like if it's like a volcano blow, does this mean that something's about to explode or something's about to erupt, or maybe you need to move out of the way of something. You know what I mean? But I usually ask them to give me something more. Meditation's very good. I like to sit in the power more than meditation, which I think I explained this the other night. But sitting in the power is when, like meditation, you're pulling everything in and it's all focused on self. Or sitting in the power, you focus out, where your energy is out in the universe, and you're allowing things to come into your clean arena, and you're feeling and sensing everything around you. And so I like to sit in the power, and I use that to build the power around me. And so that's personally what I like to do when I sit. And I like to go down into the trance states, because the deeper you can get your mind into the trance states, the more you're going to see, the more you're going to experience, and you might even speak in the trance states. Yes, Tina, I have had lots of times I see my loved ones in dreams. Okay, Tracy. Yes, I have had my loved ones speak to me in dreams, but it's usually personal messages to me. Like I've never had them talk about somebody else or a message for somebody. It's always been stuff focused at myself, like for me to do. So yes, I have. Especially my mother. My mother comes to me a lot in my dreams, or I'll see her, or there might, or sometimes it's just a memory dream. Like I might dream of a memory that we've shared before, and it's just for sometimes it's just because I need that comfort, and I am blessed with that as well. Sometimes it's just a comfort, or sometimes if I'm addressing a fear, she'll come in and comfort me. If I have like a fear, if I'm experiencing some kind of fear in a dream, she may come to comfort me during that fear. So I find that very reassuring. So, and again, that's just me. And remember, we all dream different things for different reasons. Sometimes dreams are created from external factors such as late night food, alcohol, you know, an energy drink, coffee. You know, those things can create crazy dreams too. So I always tell people be mindful when also a lot of times about when I journal a dream, or when I do journal dreams, it's because I haven't done that in a while. But when I was journaling dreams, I would always write 6 hours before I went to sleep what I ate and drank, and seeing if there was any kind of pattern that would form, so that could help you as well. You know, by something in your diet that might make you dream a certain way. Yes, you can get many dreams from loved ones that passed many times, and also, Tina, what's really cool when you if you have one with a loved one and you wake up, if you ever wake up after having one, ask him to either tap on the wall, and if you get a tap on the wall, ask him to tap twice. So if I get one knock, I always ask for two. I challenge them, and then if you get the two taps, really chum and say, I'm going to sit here for about 5 minutes and take a breath. I want to see if you'll push down on the bed. Now, don't freak out if they do, because they might. I've literally had them push down on the bed where you actually feel like somebody crawled in the bed with you. That's wild. If you can get them to do that, thumbs up. But don't be afraid. You ask for it. You can get them to do stuff like that. Come to my house. They do all kinds of stuff. But but anyway, you know, yes, do the knock. Yes, get them to do the knocks for you. Those are simple. But when you get bold enough, and if it's somebody if it's somebody, you can also you can even have them come push down in the bed by you, and they'll actually, you'll feel the bed like kind of go down, and you'll feel like somebody crawled in the bed by you. That the first time that happens, you might get a little creeped out, but it, but it will happen, and you'll have a lot of people report that that they've experienced that felt like somebody got in the bed, but they lost the spouse, or if they lost someone that they loved in an endearment way. You'll see that, you'll hear that story from them. So, guys, and I tell you this because I really love people to get in touch with their psychic sides and their spiritual sides, because there's so many miracles you could see. There's just the healing and the love that you will experience in this life. It's hard for me to describe it to you, and I don't want to go into this long tirade of my journey, but I can tell you from personal experience that it will change your life. I mean, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is life after death. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is nothing more precious than pure and true love. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it comes from within, that it starts with you. And that if you can encase that love and hold no grudge, and you can start learning about a little bit about spirituality and walking down that path, down the center, because some of it is, some people will give you some bullshit. So walk down that center path and, look at the good, look at the bad, but stay down that center path and open your heart up. You will start to see miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. And there are people out there who are negative about this, and there are people out there who will tell you that it's a bunch of horse shit. You'll have people out there that will tell you that one guy offers, and I don't even want to say his name because he's so negative, but he'll offer $1 million to anybody that can prove it. These people aren't worthy of the beauty and the blessings that come with this. Because once you master it, you're free. You are free. You are free. And because you learn to have an understanding, and you learn to understand that life does have hard knocks, and there will be ups and downs, and you will be angry, and you will be beside yourself at times, and you will be sad, but you will also be happy. And most of all, you will be loved by you first. And then you will start learning to have love for other people, love and respect for other people, love and kindness for other people. It doesn't matter how they treat you. That's their issue, not yours. But don't become them. If you become them, they win. Always remember that. I'm not saying you got to go out and love and kiss everybody either, but don't become them. Don't become that negative person. Don't become that person that's always miserable. Don't become that person that's always angry. Don't become that person that's never satisfied. Don't become that person that's always got a problem. Don't become that person that always looks for fault in others. Don't become that person. I'm not saying you're not going to get frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated, but learn to let it go. And learn to move on and learn to take care of you. Learn to love you. And once you can master this and keep the energy in your arena positive, you work on your spirituality, you will start seeing miracles. What do I call miracles? Let me tell you some. Let's talk about miracles. How many of y'all ever seen a cell phone fly across a room? How many of y'all have ever seen coins fall out of a ceiling? How many of y'all have ever seen jewelry fall out of a ceiling? How many of y'all have ever seen a table fly across the room with nothing touching it? How many of y'all have ever seen a picture fly off of a fireplace and go across a room and fall? I mean, these are the kind of things that I see like on a regular basis, like all the time. How many people, I mean, these are miracles that I see like every day. Glasses slot across counters, chairs move. I've it's just it's blessings. You know, I can tell you story after story after story after story. I'm sitting having a conversation with a medium about her brother who passed away, and I have a big hutch in my den that we used to keep a TV in. It's gone. I wouldn't even have it. But while I'm sitting there talking to her, just all of a sudden a gigantic knock, boom, hits the hutch because we're talking about her brother, and he all of a sudden, boom, he just gives us one gigantic knock, shook the whole house. You know, I'm like, I mean, these things happen on a regular basis around me. And again, um, you know, I mean, I watch stuff move all the time. I think I told y'all the story about my partner. I'll share this one. I've shared it before, but I'll share it again because it's such a good one. It's a funny one. So I have those dryer balls in my dryer, and you know, it keeps your clothes from wrinkling. And my business partner died, and her picture's up on the my fireplace, which is opposite my laundry room. And I have a sofa and a big table. The big table's on is first, and then the sofa. And I'm folding clothes, and the dryer ball, like always, falls out of the dryer, and it rolls. And I tried to stop it with my foot, and it rolled under the table. So I look up at the picture, and there she's looking at me, smiling. Her and I used to date years ago, and she, you know, she kind of smiled at me. And the first words out of my, you bitch, you just want to see me get down on my hands and knees and my big ass crawl under that table and get that ball. So I go down there, and I don't see it. I don't see the ball. So I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till Magni, who just joined us. I'm wait till Magni gets home. I'm gonna let him lift the sofa and get the dryer ball from under the sofa because that's where it's got to be because that it rolled under there. So you know, I got my phone on top of the dryer, and she used to always call me dumbass, right? So I go back to go finish folding clothes, and on my phone is the word dumbass. And then I reach in the dryer to grab the clothes, and the ball is back in the dryer. It wasn't under the sofa. I mean, that is a true story. You can't make that up. I mean, it. You can't make that up. She did that shit to me, you know. You know. So I mean, that is like one of my favorite stories. And if you knew her, that was her. That was so her. You know, so that is a definite visit from one of my dearest and best friends who's on the other side. Definitely came to visit me when I was doing laundry. You know, so this kind of stuff happens to me on a regular basis. You know, so I tell people all the time, when you walk a good path and your heart is in the right place, there is nothing you can't do. And getting into the trance states will help you. It will help you be open to these experiences and help you start to change your life one click at a time. It will help you change your life. And again, I will say it again. That's why I love me some Scott Milligan, because he is a fabulous trance teacher. And that's why, you know, Touching Eternity, the event is based around him. And he does him and Dominic do another series in the UK, well, all around Europe, called Together with Spirit, and they occasionally bring that too, but they're coming to do Touching Eternity, so I would recommend it highly. It's going to be in June 4th to June 8th. So I do recommend. Am I too late? No, Touching Eternity is not until June 4th to June 8th this year. So it's in Orlando this year. It's not going to be in New Orleans. It's going to be in Orlando. It's all the information's on my website, and so it's going to be a wonderful event. We have a psychic artist there. It's going to be a lot of fun. When I was a teenager, my grandmother who lived in the U.S. Yes, they do. Yes, you will hear those things. we hear people in my house all the time. I don't know if anybody follows me on. Well, y'all obviously follow me on Facebook because y'all are in here. So recently, Trenny was in my home when I was out of town, and she saw a full-bodied apparition come out of my laundry room, and then her and her son were actually here to do a paranormal investigation at a plantation. So they had all the equipment. So they lit up the equipment because of of what she saw in my house, and there was a go well it was something in my home. I don't like to use the term ghost, but there was an energy in my home, and she asked the energy, did she know me, and they said, oh yeah, you mean Sid the psychic? I mean the, the energy knew me personally. So that was funny because I actually wrote it out. So yeah. So I tell you, like I said, folks, these things are, people, you will experience these things. You have every right to. I am nobody special. Believe me. All I did was take the time to learn it, and I took the time, and I took the time to study. I took the time to learn, and I didn't stop. And even though in life, life has its throws, sometimes it took me years, but I just didn't give it up. And I kept practicing and studying and working with different groups and different cultures and different places and different things until it developed and developed and developed until now I've created my language with the other side. And you can do this too. I mean, it's really, and what's really shocking to me now after all this time that I spent studying, it's really not that hard. Once you do, I call it the crossing over point. Once you do the crossover point, it's really not that hard, which is why I'm focusing a lot on the energetics piece, because that's the piece that really helped me make the crossover more than anything. And so that's why in Touching Eternity, I'm focusing on the energetic side of it, because that's the piece that really helped me connect the most. And it's the piece that really helped take my mediumship from here to here. It really helped me the most. And so again, is it just for mediums? No, not Touching Eternity. Touching Eternity, we do so, it's such a wide variety event that it's not just for mediums. It's for anybody interested in the other side. If you're interested in just learning about it, or if you want to just come see what you can do, you don't have to be a medium. You don't have to be a psychic. You don't have to even you just have to be interested in learning about the other side, because it's not geared to any level. So that's what I tell people. So you're going to hear me talking a lot about all this kind of stuff between now and June. And then after June, I am going to have a class in New Orleans on energetics. And I'm going to bring the part 1 and the part 2 together and have a class just on the energetics. And it's like I said, it is an absolute good class, because not only does it help you with your psychic awareness and your mediumship, it also helps you in your daily life, and it helps you with job interviews. It helps you with interaction with people. It helps you with learning who you are and how to be and how to steer your life into the direction that you want it to go in. So it's not just about learning how to be a psychic or how to be a medium. So that's what's really cool about energetics. Because it really helps you understand, and it helps you become non-judgmental. It helps you get the negativity out of your life. It helps you address your fears, your blocks. If you're a writer and you want to get rid of your blocks, if you're a healer, because we have a healer this time also at Touching Eternity. So if you want to, explore, this is a great conference. But again, I want to also stress too, everybody is a healer. Everybody is a psychic. But you might be stronger in one area than the other, depending upon how your brain developed or how deep your connection is. And so that's what determines for most people where their strength's going to be, is how their brain developed, how their right brain developed. Those who can get deep into trance states become phenomenal healers. They become phenomenal trance mediums. They become phenomenal physical mediums. Those who can get their brains down to a deep, deep state. Get their brains way down. And then those who just can get them down like right below, I think it's alpha state. Those are your mediums and your psychics, and they can hang in that state and do well, because everybody's got it. It's just being able to get your mind and your brain to function in those states. And so when you do my level 1 mediumship class, I teach a lot about all the different states and where your mind's at in the different states. And we even have in one of the classes, when we can get them to work because they're so sensitive, but we even have the headgear that we can put on you to see where your level of consciousness is when when you're in meditation, or you're in sitting in the power. How deep are you going, and for how long are you able to keep your mind down? Now let me tell you some of the amazing things that can happen when you get your mind down to like almost to delta. When you can get your mind down there, these are some of the things that can happen. You can speak through someone else's voice. You can sometimes, if you have the capabilities and your diet's right, you may produce ectoplasm if you're in the right condition, and that could come out and it could form a spirit being. It could lift something. If you get into the right deep state, you could also, any way to skip over level 1 and 2 and move on to higher level? Well, yes, you can, Tina. If they have, we all of us offer higher levels. If you are actively demonstrating as a medium, you can skip into. But at Touch in Eternity, we welcome all levels, because even if you've never been to a seance, and even though a seance is like a higher level, we do welcome people who come in and have never been to seance into seance. We allow people, we have a student dem, so we don't require people who don't feel comfortable to demonstrate. But if you're at a higher level and you want to demonstrate, we allow you to demonstrate. So yes, there are things that you can do to move on to higher levels. So can any way to skip one level or two and move on to a higher level? It just depends on you too, Tina. I don't know where you are in your development, but yeah, you can. Some people get it naturally and can just do it. Some people don't need to teach. Some people don't need to go to class. Some people have it. Some people can just do it because they've worked on it and they've done it. So yes, it just depends. I love going to conferences. So my favorite conference is a conference, like I went to a physical mediumship conference in Eastbourne many years ago, and that was probably the most phenomenal conference I had ever been to. And it was because that's when still they had a lot of the older English physical mediums were still living, and I got to meet a bunch of them that wrote a lot of books, and even though a lot of them wasn't demonstrating as much anymore because they were elderly, I still got to meet them, and got to these guys were known for the phenomenal things they had done, and then their stuff, and I actually got to meet many of them. Like Stuart Alexander was there. He's still living, of course, but he doesn't. He might still sit, but his circle's closed. But there was Glenn Edwards was there. Now he's passed. Of course, Scott was there, and Scott actually demmed there. And Scott, that was one of the best dems I've ever seen Scott do. All Scotts are good, but that dem he did there was amazing. Um, the things that happened in that seance were even the old timers got up. They were so astounded. The minute it was over, they just got up all in shock because of all the things that were happening. Um, so it was truly amazing. So I mean, yes, I mean you can. I mean you. I like to go to conferences. That's my favorite thing. Rather than I like to go take conferences where they have multiple teachers. That's why I do Touch Eternity, because I like to bring in people for people to experience people from all over and try to experience things and see things. So, and Touching Eternity was built around physical mediumship, and Scott is a physical medium, and he's a trance medium. So, Touching Eternity was built around that, and then the mediumship and psychic stuff and healing stuff was all added in to make it a full rounded experience. And like I said, this year it's in Orlando, and it's gonna be a phenomenal conference because I have studied with. I went to their conference and worked their conference and was in their conference. I mean, I helped them. I didn't go work. I just went there to help them when they were in Barlo in the Netherlands, and I got to meet Josephine McKenzie, who's a phenomenal psychic artist, and me who can't not draw but stick people. She had me drawing dead people. I actually drew. Had I didn't draw. I actually drew people, but I had a girl who was drawing from me, somebody who passed, and she drew one of my cousins who passed away. And since I have a cousin on the line watching us right now, I thought I would share that. But she actually drew. She drew one of my cousins who passed away, and it was very touching. And I didn't even realize that the drawing was over. That's who she was drawing. So that's my cousin. And then when she was reading me, she was telling me things, and she told me things about my cousin that nobody knew, about a finger that was missing and about other things. So it was amazing. And my cousin had been past maybe a year at that point. So it was pretty amazing. So Josephine will be one of the instructors at the conference, and she's going to have people doing artwork and reaching in and expressing their self through their psychic abilities and mediumship abilities through their artwork. And I didn't think it was possible because Sid don't draw, but Sid was drawing, so it was absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so but again, my main thing tonight is I want people to understand that everyone is born with psychic abilities, everyone, and that all you need to do is start watching videos, go to YouTube, come to my podcast, do whatever you need to do to start learning about it, not being afraid of it. The hotel is dirt cheap, Tina. The hotel is a beautiful hotel. It's a Holiday Inn. It's at the Holiday Inn Lake Buena Vista. It's got a restaurant inside of it. It's got an Applebee's inside of it, like 10 restaurants around it. It's the room rate is $79 a night, plus $15 resort fee. So it runs about 93, and you got to pay tax. It runs about $100 a night, but that resort fee gives you bus, or gives you transportation to any of the theme parks, plus towel service by the pools there and the jacuzzis there, and free parking, which normally it's $30 for their resort fee, but they only charge, I guess, $15, and they normally charge parking, and all of our guests get free parking if they decide to drive. If you're part of our conference, you get free parking. So the $15 is very reasonable. So it means like around $100. Said, am I buying Applebee's? No, but I'm buying all the mimosas. We having a cocktail party the first night. I'm buying mimosas for everybody. So we having a cocktail party the first night. So yes, I am buying drinks. So we having a meet and greet where everybody gets a mimosa and comes and meets everybody. So that's going to be the night one. That's included in your ticket price. And so it's going to be a lovely event. And I'm really excited because the hotel is very nice. And what's really cool is that they've given us 2 days before the event and 2 days after the event in case you want to come early and enjoy the parks. So you really can't beat that if you want to go to Orlando and enjoy. So if you didn't want to leave right away and just hang back a little bit, but we're going early. I'm not gonna be mad every time about it. We're going early and we're leaving like the next day after because then we're going somewhere else together to go do something else. But we are going early to set up and do all that kind of stuff, and then we're gonna leave on the 9th because it's the 4th through the 8th. We're leaving on the 9th to go somewhere else, do some more stuff, and then. So it's from October 4th to October 8th, but you can get the rooms from October the 2nd till October the 10th at that rate. And if you call them and tell them and if you book them and you let them know you're going to come in early, they told me they probably still will give you the same rate. So that's a great rate for that hotel. It's like I'm telling you, and the hotel rooms are nice because I've been to the hotel. For $79, it's nice, and that will either get you two queens or a king. And the rooms are decent size; they're big. Like some of them have balconies, some of them, not all of them. And they're nice rooms, and they're nice size rooms, and they've got like groceries, like a small grocery in the place. They've got a Applebee's in the place, and then there's like a bunch of restaurants around it. There's a Starbucks next door. There's a lot, and then like I said, they have the shuttle service. They'll take you shopping. It's gonna be really great. Hey, Daphne. So anyway, let's get back on topic, folks. So anyway, I truly would love people to get in touch with their psychic abilities. And like most of you ladies, y'all have kids, y'all already know that mother's touch, that mother's gut feeling. Y'all have it. Y'all just need to extend it to other things. I wish y'all could get that in relationships so y'all would weed out the bad ones. No, because then it would put me out of work probably. No, I'm just kidding. But just being able to find the right people for you guys. Yes, that intuition. Yes, Miss Burris, that intuition. Let me tell you what else. Let me tell you something else that's interesting. And this is true. So remember we're talking about the levels of consciousness and going down into trance state. So let me tell you something else I was able to do. And I guess this is a kind of a cross between trance and psychic abilities. So I used to have this gentleman who would put me down into the trance state while I was at a casino, and I was able to pick the roulette number 1 out of 10 times, and it paid 33 to 1. Then we got in trouble because the casino caught on. So I had to stop doing it. But I was able to pick the roulette number 1 out of every 10 times. I'd get the right number to play 1 out of every 10 times. And it played 33 to 1. So if you bet right, you could walk away very wealthy. Look at Daphne. Now you tell me. You want to go play some roulette, Daphne? So again, what he would do was he would put me down and I would focus, and then I would start seeing numbers and I would tell him the number to play. And 1 out of 10 times, I would hit the right number that would pop up. And it paid 33 to 1. Of course, we got kicked out of Treasure Chest for that. They asked us to leave because they call that cheating. So I couldn't do that no more. So you can do it. It's possible. It is possible to do that, but you have to. But again, I have to get into that trance state. I have to. So that's what I'm talking. If you can get your mind down to almost that delta state, you can do a lot of things. And I've already told y'all the story about when I was in the trance state here at my house, and they were hearing my voice 7 miles away somewhere else, because my we created some kind of connection between my house and my center, and they were hearing me 7 miles away while I was at home in a trance state. I've also, when I get into when I get somebody who can put me down deep enough, I'm also able to push out one of my guides so that people can see him with the naked eye. So that I've done that on more than one occasion, where I can push my guide out of me, where people can actually see the Asian man that I become. I can push him out of my body so that they can see. It's one of my spirit guides. Now, I've done that on a couple of occasions. That's physical. That is a form. I don't know if you want to call it. I don't know if that would be considered physical mediumship, or would that be called just another form of maybe trance mediumship? But I've been able to do that twice. And I've been talking to Scott about that, because I want to go sit with Scott a little bit privately, but he's so busy and I'm so busy, it's hard for us to get some time alone. But I'd like to sit with Scott to have him work with me so I can control that more, so that I can find a way to control that, where I can go down on my own rather than have somebody put me down and push him out so that people can see him. Because I've been able to push that spirit out so people could physically see him with the naked eye. So I'd like to be able to do that more often. But Glenn Edwards, I did that at Arthur Findlay College. Glenn Edwards put me down in the sanctuary. He put me in a chair in front of all the students, and he put me down into trance, and I was able to have him materialize and push out, and all the students, all 100 and something students, saw him and described him to me, and they described exactly what I was seeing, so I know it was real. And then I did it one time when I was at Banyan, and I was in the medium cabinet, what they call a cabinet, which is a contraption. It's like a closed-in area that the medium, it's like a little small closet that the medium gets in, and it's got a chair in it like this, and you're in a trance state in the cabinet, and everybody else was in meditation around, and my guide came out and went out, and he started nodding at everybody, and then Scott, who was sitting with everybody else, said, "Did y'all see the Asian guy step in the center of the room and start nodding at everybody?" Which validated for me, because that's exactly that was my guy that I sent out there that started nodding at everybody. And I didn't say anything. He told me that. So I knew that he was able to see my guy. So I want to sit with Scott and get him to work with me, but it's just hard trying to book a one-on-one with Scott when he's so busy, and then I'm so busy, and we live in way different time zones, so it's really hard. But I am trying to work with that. So that's what I'm saying to you. If you're able to get yourself down into that deep, deep trance state, there are things that you can do that are phenomenal, and they will help make changes in your life. That's why I'm telling you these stories. I'm not just telling these for no reason. The reason I'm telling you these stories is because if you can get your mind into these states, you can make changes in your life. You can make changes in your career. You can make changes in your the way you look at things. You can make changes in your life. And so I'm trying to help give you tools to utilize to help you start making little changes in your life. And you can get on YouTube and maybe get into some of the trance meditations, and maybe those can help you start getting down. Even if you don't get all the way down to Delta, just start practicing getting down lower and lower. Hello, Miriam. I hear you getting a man in October. Wasn't it October? But anyway, you could get down into those trance states and start practicing. There's also, if you want to spend the money on Amazon, you can get the headsets like I have, and yes, that's what Facebook says. You can get the headsets, and they will measure how long you go down. They also have music. But it's costly. I don't know if it's worth it, but it's costly. But you can get the headsets, and you can sign up with these programs, and they'll play music to you. Now they'll measure how long you go down, and they'll help you get to those states. But I say first practice on your own. And if you feel that you can't, start getting down to those deep states without falling asleep, because that's hard, especially if you work hard. And I know most of you do, because I know a lot of you, y'all work very hard, but you can't fall asleep. But you got to get down to those states where you're almost in that deep sleep state. That's where you want to be. So try it. Try using YouTube. Try using something, or try using Google. See if you can get a program that'll help you get down to those states. And that will definitely help start making little changes in your life. Okay, and so let's start working with that. Let's see what else I can tell you about. So all of this is to help you with your psychic abilities and your psychic awareness. Okay, and again, you know, I want the world to change, and the only way it's going to change is if we start taking control of our own lives instead of letting other people tell us what our lives need to be. Okay, start taking control of your own damn life. Okay, stop allowing other people to tell you what your life should be, because if they knew what life should be, they wouldn't be telling you about yours. Okay, they just want to control you. Stop. Just do good. Don't hurt nobody. Come from a place of love in what you do, and take care of you. Don't You can't please everybody. You're not there to please everybody. Okay? You take care of you. You know? Think about that. Think about that. You have you have to love yourself first. That don't mean spoil yourself. That don't mean, don't take care of people around you. It just means you got to you got to love you first. When somebody's getting on your nerves, you need to get away from them, even if they're your damn kids. No, not you, Alicia. I love your kids. But anyway, but you know what I mean. When they get older, then you can get rid of them. Then you can step away from them. But but you know, you've got to learn to take care of you. Your health is important. Your life is important. Your journey is important. What good is your journey on this earth if you're always miserable or if you're never happy? No, I wasn't even thinking of yours, Daphne, but you got a point. Yeah, I know you're talking about that little one, but she's just too cute. She's so precious. But anyway, I love kids, but I'm just glad they're not mine. I'm glad mine are grown. But anyway, so I tell people, I just thought it was beautiful as a baby today. I just wanted to grab her and hug her, and my boss reminded me, said, all the work that goes with that? I said, yeah, but that's why they belong to somebody else. Yeah, I know yours are grown too. Oh, anyway, so, and all this helps with your psychic abilities, learning to love, learning to let things go, not holding on to anger, not holding on to grief, not holding on to depression, not holding on to anxiety, not holding on to fear. These are the things you have to learn to let go of. But and I want you to think about when you find yourself wanting to hold on to it, I want you to start to think, who taught me that? Somebody taught you that. You didn't learn that on your own. You exampled that from somebody. And I'm not saying be mad at that person, because somebody taught that person, yet somebody taught that person, and somebody taught that person. But I want you to just go back and think, who taught me that? And then try to understand why you need to let it go. Who taught me that? Because I had a clean slate when I came in this world, but why am I doing that now? Who taught me that, and why I need to let it go? Most of you here all of you here are adults. And so what I want to say to you as adults is that you're always taught to respect the adults, but you're adults, respect yourself. respect yourself first. Other people should respect you too. But respect yourself first. If you come from a place of love and you come from a place of understanding, then everything else should fall in place. Yes, you have to let go of guilt. Guilt causes cancer. Know that. That's what killed my mother, 48 years old. Guilt. And people say, well, how can you say that? Your mom smoked. Her sister smoked too, just as much almost as she did. Her sister's still living. My mom died 30-something years ago, 37 years ago. 36 years ago, my mama died. Her sister still living and smoked just as much as she did. So it wasn't the smoking. It was the guilt. My mother lived a horrific guilt. And Tina, that's great. I learned from my family because I came from, was really, I think I was blessed in my family because I came from a family who I remember being very poor. And then I remember being very rich. And then I remember being very middle class. And then I remember being very poor and very middle class again. So I've lived it all. So I kind of experienced it all. And I got to say, the most miserable part of all of it was when we were rich because nobody was happy rich. And usually it's very seldom I meet a happy rich person. I actually had a client over here. And I'm not going to say the client's name, and I'm trying not to even say the sex. But I had a client over here who was filthy rich, like almost Musk rich. Okay? It was one of my clients. And the client was wanting a relationship, or was in a relationship, but wasn't sure if the client should stay in the relationship because wasn't sure if there was love there or not. And I looked at the client and I said to the client, you will never be in love because you always think people love you for your money. So there is no love for you. You will always doubt it. I said, and that's sad. Because the only love you really have is the love of the power you get from the money you have. And that is sad. And the client looked at me like I was crazy, but I knew I hit a chord. But it's true. And when I'm telling you the client was very good looking, the client deserved love, and the client wanted love, and the client deserved it. My heart went out to this client. But life had moved so fast for this client that there was no time for the client to put in perspective what love meant to the client. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know how to feel. And that's very sad. I would rather be living in a box under a bridge, poor and happy and cold with somebody. And I found it, I really did. I found it very, very sad. So the client asked me a question. Should they pursue a business or take this very long trip? And I said, take the trip. You may learn something instead of another business. Already had 6 of them. You know? Try to find your soul again. No, because let me tell you, once you experience true love, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. I would give up everything. Everything. And I will tell anyone that. Because all of this is materialistic. But you can't replace the love. Can't do it. Can't do it. You can't do it. I can start from scratch again. I can't replace the love. And love I do have. So I tell that to people all the time. True love is very hard to find. And the real question, real love question, I throw this at people a lot. I might have said this to you the other night, is when you can look at somebody that you love, and if they want to leave you, you let them. Because if that's what makes them happy, that's all you want for that person is their happiness, no matter what it does to you. That's love. And when I tell that to couples in counseling here, they give me these looks like, and I said, and y'all really don't love one another. Y'all love the thought of being in love. True love, when you love something, you can let it go. Because if that person is not happy with you, why would you want to, if you really love them, if they don't want to be with you and you really love them, why would you want to harm them? Why would you want not, I tell it to people all the time. Think about it that way. If you wanted it any other way, then you're just either being vindictive or hurtful, or you're just trying to get even, or whatever. When sometimes it's just easy to cut the cord and walk away. Sometimes that's the best medicine there is walk away and hurt their feelings. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk away and hurt your feelings. I'm going to walk away and hurt your feelings. I'm going to find somebody better. No. That's what you do. I'm not going to sit here and try to try to be angry and mad and all that. No, you want to go? Go. Now I'm going to go hurt your feelings. Because next time you see me, you're going to go, damn. Right, Alicia? If you love somebody a lot, and if they're not happy with you, you should be okay to let them go. If you really love them, you let them go. That's when you really know you're in love, because you love them enough to let them go, but you love yourself even more by allowing them to leave without any hardship. You don't want to be here, that I love you enough to let you go. But I am going to hurt your feelings next time you see me. Oh, guys and girls. Anyway. It is a very hard concept, Tracy, but it's true. I mean, think about it. If you really love somebody and you know they don't care about you, because be honest, people don't love the same way. So somebody doesn't always love you the way you love them. So you have to understand that. And they might not love you to the same degree. And they may not love anybody else the way they love you, but they still might not love you the way you love them. And at one point, that might become a problem. So if they tell you that they're just not loving you like you love them at that point, that if you really love them, you have to be able to let them go and just say, then maybe you need to go find someone that's going to fulfill you. I love you enough that I don't want to ruin your journey in this life. So I want you to go fulfill your journey. And then I'm gonna go fulfill mine. And trust me, next time you see me, your feelings are gonna be hurt because it's gonna be, trust me, you know, right? I mean, and again, but again, you don't sometimes, you know, Tracy, you don't know that. I mean, when you first meet, you're all in love, you're trying to learn each other, and some people jump into relationships too quick. They just do, and some people think they're in love from the beginning. I can tell you from my own experience, I'm more in love today than I was the day that I got married. Let's knock that off. I am more in love today than the day that I got married. Because as time went on, now listen to what I'm saying, as time went on, the commitment between the two of us got stronger. What Magni has done for me, my partner has done for me, has shown me the commitment that I didn't know was going to be there, nor did he. See what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know he was going to react when I went through all the illnesses that I went through, or the things that happened to me. And he didn't know how I was going to react when certain things happened with him, how I reacted, or what I was going to do as far as a provider for him when he up and left his home and moved to a strange country. All that took years and time to build, and it showed commitment. It showed bonding. It showed, you know, it all together. It just it grew. It got thicker over time. We didn't, like most people, when I look at relationships in America, they start heavy and then they break apart. Ours grew bigger and tighter and more as time went on, because we look at love as commitment and bonding and coming together as a family unit. That's how him and I both look at what love is. And not everybody does that. Some people look at love as the journey or as the thrill or as whatever. And it depends on how you learn what love is. But his concept of love and mine match. And that's what you got to find, is someone who matches those same ideals that you have for your relationship to work. And that you don't know usually in the first couple of years usually. And you got to also make sure if you're married to one of them guys that are girls who have esteem issues, because if they do, they're going to probably cheat. Girls and guys, that's why they cheat. They have esteem issues. They feel they're never good enough, and because they might have had that mother, that father that always told them, "You're not good enough. You're not good enough." So they constantly looking for validation. So they cheat for validation. Ain't because they don't like you. They need the validation. They need to they need to know they look good. They need to know that somebody wants them. And after the marriage goes on, they don't feel wanted anymore, they're going to go out and look for that validation. It's not that they don't love you, they just want the validation. And I see that a lot in relationships. That's when the cheating steps in. And then I get the story, well, I married my best friend instead of the person that I'm in love with. Well, I married both. you know, you know, I married both. I married my best friend and the person I'm in love with. That's what you got, I mean, because love takes commitment. It takes time. You just don't fall in love in the beginning. You fall in lust, and you fall in the possibility of a commitment. But my relationship built over time. I fall more in love every day, because I look at the shit he has to put up with me. And go, God damn, I don't think anybody would put up with me that long. Hey, Phyllis, I'm like, I don't think anybody's gonna put up with the bullshit I put him through. But he sticks around, so I'm like, I don't want to say that word, but damn, I'm like, so to me, that's what makes a relationship, And so many people bail out before it gets to that point. Or they get bored with it, or they get whatever, and so then they start looking for something else. And then that's where I start when I counsel people, and I start counseling people and I start talking to them, that is the one thing that I focus on with them. I'm like, so, and believe me, I tell them, you need, yes, you caught my live. Yay, yeah, Amy. So that is the one thing I do tell them is that you need to tell your partner that you don't have to tell them you're fooling around on them, but you need to tell your partner that it's time for you guys to maybe separate or do something different. I said, because it's not fair to either one of you to ruin your journey. When as long as you're not telling your partner, that there's no chance of y'all getting back together, then you're hurting each other's journey. You need to, and when I get that, well, what about the kids? I just want to take my shoe off when I get that one. But anyway, because the kids are not better off if you're in a relationship that's not working, because your kids are in the process of learning how to love and you're not in love. The better thing for you to do is to separate and let the kids know what's going on and then co-parent in a positive manner. That is better than to be in a relationship where there's no affection, there's nothing, because you're teaching your kids how to love. And so you got to be respectful of that too. You have to think about your children in that aspect. So don't stay in an abusive relationship. Don't stay in a relationship that's not love and affection. Don't stay in a relationship that's not being healthy for your children to visually see. Get out of it and then try to be more positive in seeing what your children see. And that's what I usually recommend when I'm counseling somebody on that type of relationship. And again, and the cards may show me, if I'm reading cards for them, it may show me they're going to do something completely different. I'll tell them, well, your cards are saying that, but you're saying you ain't going to do it. And I'll tell them, it's saying you're going to hang this out for this long. I mean, I'll be honest with the cards. It's saying to them, but this is what you need to really try to consider. There you go. Why are we saying this about psychic abilities again? Because you have to protect yourself in order for your psychic abilities to unfold. You have to start being realistic with yourself. You have to start being able to allow yourself to be truthful to yourself, to be real with yourself in order for your abilities to unfold, in order for you to come from a true place of meaning to yourself and responsibility to yourself. Alicia, I think I just pulled in your grandmother. But anyway, for some reason, when your name popped up, I just saw this woman just jump up, popped up in my head. But anyway, we'll talk later. I'm going to probably call you tomorrow, Alicia, when I get a moment. I'll probably call you on the phone. If not, text me tomorrow. Okay, baby? Anyway, because I do want to talk to you, but I got a busy day in the early part, but in the later part of the day, I'm free. I want to talk to you. But anyway, so please remember that the basic keys of life are: 1, learn to love yourself. 2, have respect for yourself. 3, learn to tolerate others, and when they cross the line, put them on the other side of the wall, of your wall, so that they don't have any effect on you. 4, never hold on to anything that doesn't feel right. Learn to take a shower after a bad experience and see that crap going down the drain. Okay? These things are really, 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 really important. Okay? And all these things will help you get into your own space, help you get your mind right, and help you be better with your own predictions, see the path and see yourself go where you need to go. Also, once you clear your head and you start clearing these things away, you will start seeing things what I call 360 vision. You will start seeing things very much clearer, and you will start seeing things. It could be a little mind-boggling for some, because when I see things, I see them all the way around. I can have 4 conversations. Magnet drives Magnet crazy. I can have 4 conversations going on at the same time about 4 different topics. And it's because I see things very 360. And it's just because I'm a visionary. I see things very broad, and I can see things, and it's just because of having stripped a lot of the negativity away from me. And it's hard because of where I am. I work in the medical field. So there's a lot of negativity, and there's a lot of trauma and a lot. And again, I'm not saying the where I work is negative. I'm saying the field itself is negative and has a lot of trauma in it, and has a lot of unhealthy and sick people that we deal with. And so I'm constantly having to separate myself from that, and and making sure that I don't take none of that home, or that I don't, and it's hard when you're an empath, or you're someone who has a vision or a feel. Like I'm an empath because I feel. It's hard for me. I have to separate it. Sometimes I have to walk away from stuff. So learn yourself. Well, yes. So you understand what I'm saying, Amy. So sometimes you have to learn to separate yourself. One little thing I used to do, which used to help me, I learned this when I worked in Texas. We used to have the sliding doors. You know how to get the sliding doors that open and close like this, like the old Get Smart doors. That's showing my age. So what I would do when I would walk into work, I would actually see a piece of my, I don't want to say my soul, but I would see a piece of my energy just like pull off of me and sit at the door. And then I would walk in. And then I would go to work and all the drama would hit me. But when I walked out, all that negative would stay inside, and I would pick up my clean self as I walked out of the door, would be waiting for me. I'd walk out in and out. I made sure I always walked in and out of the same door. That's what I used to do. And so I would leave all the negativity at the door when I was leaving, and when I would come in, I would leave the good stuff outside waiting for me. So I would drop one off, pick one up, drop one off, pick one up. So I would do that to that's why I would mentally prepare myself going in and out of work. So that kind of helped me to get that balance. That because man, sometimes the things that we see in the medical field are just so traumatizing, and that's how I would deal with it. And I'll never forget, while I was in Texas, before Magni, somebody that I was dating right around Hurricane Katrina was killed, and with somebody I was dating, and I went, and you wouldn't even known it, because I was so depressed and so down. I walked in, I left all that depression at the door. I went and did my job. You would not have even known. But man, the minute I walked out, jumped right back on me and went home and boo-hooed and all that kind of stuff. Then went back. You would have never known. You would have never known. So sometimes I say, create those little visualizations for yourself. So that's what I used to do for work. Is I'd pick one door I'd go in and out of, and I would leave all my good stuff on the outside. I'd walk in, have all that drama, then leave it on the inside at work, and when I walk through, I'd pick up the good stuff and go home. So I left it all at work, and I just used to have that visual, and it kind of helped me de-stress a little bit. And the whole way home, I would just de-stress. Let's see, you would coming up after a long. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I worked nights for many years. I don't do nights anymore, though. So I stopped doing nights about 2 years ago, but I did nights for 25, 26 years. I don't do nights anymore. I am a day person now. So, yes, I did nights for many years in nursing. So now I'm on days, and I run a new kind of department, and it's going pretty good, I think. We're doing some remarkable things, so in this new department, so it's working out really well for me. In fact, I'm part time right now, but I'm getting ready to probably go full time. So in the next few weeks, I'm gonna probably be putting in a full time, and I'll be doing full time at the hospital that I'm at. And all my nursing friends that are out there in the Facebook world, while I got y'all on there, I am going to be doing a recruiting seminar at Unity. I haven't. It's going to probably be at Unity of Metairie. I haven't booked the place yet, but I'm going to ask them, can I rent it from them? And we're going to be doing a nursing recruitment thing, and it's going to be for RNs, LPNs, and techs. And I will put some on Facebook about that, and it's for multiple positions, and it's for multiple positions, and it's going to be We're going to serve champagne and pastries and some mimosas and some apple mimosas, or whatever they call those, apple mimosas. And so come join us and bring your resume and come talk to us. It's going to be me and my friend Jill. And so when you see it posted, if you're a nurse or a tech of any kind, please share it. Whether you come or not, please do me a favor and share it on Facebook for us, because that will help us get the message out there to as many nurses, techs, and we're looking for RNs, LPNs, and techs. I probably need about 20 total, so we need a lot. So, and the pay is very decent, and it's going to be it's decent salary and decent, and it's not all the same. It's different jobs, it's different hours, it's different stuff. So if you're interested, come on out, and you can come have. And if you just want to come have a drink with me, come on out and have a drink with me. They had me at drinks. Come on out, girl. Have some champagne with me. And so I think we can do it somewhere around February the 10th. I'm not sure of the date. I got to contact the church. I'm fine. Somebody from the church is coming to see me tomorrow at my event tomorrow. I'm having an event tomorrow at my house. It's a mediumship gallery at my house tomorrow. It's $20. If you want to come join, it's focused around our grief group, but anybody can come to it. It is limited seating because I can only see about 15 in my house. I think we still have a few seats open if anybody wants to come. Everybody's going to be guaranteed a message. It's for the new year. Anybody's able to come. Tina, it's going to be more. It's going to all be the New Orleans area, and it's going to be more than. Well, it's going to be one or more locations. And actually, the more flexible you are, the more money you can make. So it depends on if you're very flexible and can go to more than one location, and you can make more money. It depends on that. So it depends a lot of things. And EMTs, I don't know. There might be some needs for that in the ER. I'm not sure. I know for sure RNs, LPNs, and PCTs, but I will take an EMT application and turn it in. I will take anything and turn it in, but I know with the RNs and LPNs, if the more flexible they are, like if they will go to more than one place, like more than one location to work, they will make their hourly pay will be higher than anybody else. And I can't say it online because I would get in trouble, especially on this type of podcast. But I know it's good. So it's worth checking out. I'll tell you that much. It's worth checking out. So I can say that it's worth checking out. And we're looking for many positions. We even have school opportunities for people who are looking to be LPNs or people who want to go LPN to RN. So there's schooling opportunities in there as well. There's multiple different types of shift work that's available. There's even one or two positions that are no weekends, no holidays for RNs. I don't know if there's any for LPNs. I know for RNs, there's a couple of opportunities that are for RNs that are seasoned RNs that are no weekends, no holidays. So I do know that as well. Oh, look. Thank you, guys. I just got a congratulations. Well, thank you. I got 100 messages today. I've got a record. You guys are just wonderful. So anyway, but yeah, so that will be coming up sometime in early February. So please, if you follow me on Facebook, look for that. And if you're one of my nurse friends, tech friends, please share it. Please get it out there. I really want to fill these positions. And And what about only weekends? Oh, definitely. Oh, we could definitely hire only weekends, especially PCTs, because nobody wants to work a weekend. So yeah, I could definitely fill weekends. Yeah, if you're only weekends, that's they'll be bowing down to you. Only weekends. Oh yeah, Lord, especially on a Sunday. It's like pulling teeth to get somebody to work a Sunday. But yes, they would love that for sure. So definitely, come see me. Come have some champagne. Come have some pastries. Come chit chat. Bring a resume, and we will give you call. We will definitely look at everything and give you calls. There, we will call people in for some interviews. So, that's definitely coming up. And like I said, I will post it on Facebook, but I'm just begging that all my nurse friends please share it. Please share it, because we are we are expanding a couple of units, and we need staff. And there we have some positions that are in my department, which my department is no weekends, no holidays. That you'll be working for me if you get that. And I need at least one to two more RNs. And mine is RNs only because it's all assessment work, but it's not, and it's no bedside. So some people are loving that because mine is not bedside. Um, and there is there's some dual hospitals. Now that's the one that's paying. If you're able to go to more than one hospital, if you're an RN or an LPN, and you go to more than one hospital, that gives you a bump in pay. So that one's really good too. Then there's techs needs, and there's sitter needs. If you're not a tech and you just want to sit, they have. I can even probably get. We even need sitters. So I would even take those if you just want to do sitting work, like not be a tech. If you just want to just be available to sit, it's just something PRN. I could probably use some of those too. So when you see it posted, share, and then come to the event. And I hope I have enough champagne. I'm gonna get a few cases. Anyway, enough about that. Back on topic, because I just love to ramble with you guys. We could sit up all night on a cold, wet night like tonight, just talk all night. Because I don't have work tomorrow. Well, I do have work tomorrow. I got clients all day, starting at 10 a.m. and going to about 6 p.m. Tomorrow, I am doing a gallery at my home. From The gallery's going to start at 1. And right now, I don't know how many people I have, but I know I got open seats. So probably is going to last to maybe 2 or 2:30, about an hour and a half. If I get some more people, I'll stretch it to, if I fill it up, I'll probably stretch it till 3. But I got clients from 10 to 12, and then I got clients from 3 to 6, and then I got the gallery in between. So that's going to happen. There will be champagne at the gallery. There'll be coffee. There'll be soda, a couple of sodas. There'll be water, bottles of water. When it goes out, folks. This is not unlimited. It's just there'll be stuff to drink if you get thirsty at the gallery tomorrow. The tickets are $20. You have to go online to my website, sid-patrick.com. Also tomorrow from 12 to 1, I'm doing aura readings for $20. They're normally $40. This is a New Year's special. This is only going to happen on this day tomorrow. If you want one, you have to get here by noon, because at 1 o'clock I have to start the gallery. And you just show up at my house at noon, and Stacy will be here to take everybody's picture. I'll read everybody's photo, and then I'll start the gallery at 1. We'll finish about 2:30, and then I'll finish reading the rest of my clients for 3 on till 6. And then I'll probably I'll probably make that call to Alicia. Alicia, I got to call you or text me, so I will definitely talk with you tomorrow. And Magnie's leaving me in the morning, so I got to hang up from you guys in a little bit and go spend some time with Magnie. I know that's got to be wrong. Oh, that says 9:30. I thought it said 8:30. I said, I know I've been on here more than 25 minutes. Oh, guys, I'm really enjoying time with you guys. So y'all gonna start seeing me on here a lot, but I'm only gonna put up the Touch in Eternity, and Alicia will be here every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We will do our Touch in Eternity, the podcast, with Alicia, Nicole. Alicia, Nicole, and I will be on here, and hopefully by next week I'm able to bring some people in. The reason I'm also doing these a little bit every night is because eventually Scott and Dominic will be on here with me, and so will Josephine and Mary. But Scott, Dominic, and Josephine will not be on at this time of night because they are 6 hours ahead. So the pot when they come on, I will have to put an announcement, and it'll be earlier in the day, like maybe around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the day, because that'll be like 8 or 9 o'clock at night their time. So because they're 6 hours behind us. So I mean 6 hours ahead of us. We're 6 hours behind them. So I can't make them stay up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to come on and talk to you guys. But I can get them on like on the weekend. I could probably try to get them on so that we can maybe do something during the day so that y'all can interact with Scott and Dominic, and maybe we get Dominic to do a reading or two. I'll see if he will. He may or may not, but we'll see. We'll see if we get you a little taste of Dominic. All right, folks. I'm not good. Anybody have any questions for me? So we talked a lot about you and your psychic abilities. We talked about how to get them to flourish. Art, meditation, sitting in the power, working with creating a language with them so that you understand what they're saying to you. So if they show you a picture, ask if this is what that means. If you're sitting with somebody and you see a picture, ask somebody about it. You're sitting with a friend and you get a picture, say, do you understand this picture? Does that mean something to you? And if they say yes, then that means something. Then say, okay, you can if you don't get anything else, that's fine. Let it go. Next time you see that person, ask again and start building your vocabulary. So when you start seeing things in your mind, if you hear something, smell something, taste something, ask the person you're next to. If you know them. If you're not comfortable, then don't ask. If you're comfortable, ask them. Start building your vocabulary. How I did it, and I teach this in my mediumship class, was that we do blindfolded readings. Is that I would put a blindfold. I put a blindfold on, and I had Magni invite over some people, one a day, and I had them sit behind me, and I just started reading them, and they would tap my shoulder once for yes, twice for no, 3 for I don't know, and I would read them. And then I would use whatever sensations I was getting, and did a reading by those sensations, and they would either understood it, didn't understand it, or wasn't sure, and that's how I started developing my language. So that is a little helpful hint on how you can do that. And at the end of the reading or the end of the session, I would take off my blindfold, turn around, and meet the person and ask them, so what did all that mean to you? Because it means nothing to me. It's nothing but emotions. You smell weed all the time. My two brothers that passed away smoked that on a daily basis. Well, that means they're with you. That's just evidence that they're with you, Tina. Lucky you. I'm a nurse. I can't smell it. I can't smoke it. I can't do a gummy. Can't do anything. Because they do test us. One mistake and down to the office you go. Anyway, I can drink champagne though. Go figure. I could drink a bottle of scotch, but Lord forbid they catch me with a joint, huh? No. But so work with some. So Tina, I feel like that most all the time. Sometimes with doing this kind of work. Let me tell y'all about that too. Child, look, when you start doing this kind of work and you stay in that right brain too long, I get like I'm high. Like I get tongue tied. I get lost. I have to ground. I get way out there. The threes are creativity, Daphne. So I'm just saying to you, when I do when I go to a gallery, like tomorrow, by the end of tomorrow, if I don't have a break tomorrow, I don't ground tomorrow. By the end of tomorrow, I'll be tongue tied. I'll be in my right brain. I won't be able to focus. It's like being high. So doing this work will get you high too. Trust me. I'm going down Highway 90. I got lost. It's a straight road. I had to pull over and walk and get out and walk because I had to walk around because I got lost because I was in my right brain and I didn't know where the hell I was at. And I had to pull over because I had been reading for like 4 hours without a break and I had to pull over. I couldn't drive. So it happens. And so living in your right brain, you tell y'all go watch that TED Talk by Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor. I definitely recommend it. It's 20 minutes long. Go watch it. She explains the right and left brain. It explains psychic abilities. It explains mediumship. Hey, Josie. I was at the store today, Josie. We went to see a mediumship gallery at the store today. I went to see the gallery. I wasn't in the gallery. I was a patron at the gallery. I went to watch one of my students and a good friend of mine that I've done galleries with before. They did a gallery together, so I went to go be a patron tonight and watch them work. So you were home staying warm. Oh, folks. But if you get a chance, watch that video by Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor called A Stroke of Insight. It will explain the brain to you, and it will explain she has a stroke in her left side, and so she loses the functions of her left brain, so she lives totally in her right brain, and she explains psychic ability and mediumship ability to a T. She doesn't even realize it, but she does, and how it works. So if you get a chance, watch it. Bring tissue because you will cry, because it's a sad video, but she's funny. So if you get a chance, watch it. It's called A Stroke of Insight by Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor. If you come take my class, I'll make you watch it again. Poor Allie has seen the video about 47 times now, 47, 48 times, because she's taken my class so much. And I will be teaching probably April, because February's kind of busy for me. January and February are busy for me. March, Magnie's family's coming in, so I probably will teach some classes in April. Of course, May and June. June is Touching Eternity. I'm thinking about doing a New Orleans Psychic Fair also in June. So those are some of the things I might have coming up. But again, folks, tomorrow is my I have a gallery tomorrow, so I need to go. I need to get some rest, and I got to take Magnie to the airport. So I love you guys. I thank you for joining me tonight, and I love you all. And this has been a great night with a lot of interaction from everybody. This is how I hope. Thank you, Mike, and yes, thank you, Cuz, for the great night. And thank you guys for joining. I will try to come on a little bit every night. I hope not to stay on this much. I've been on like about an hour and a half, over an hour and a half. But y'all have been fun because I should be at a casino right now with Daphne. Yes, and we do repost these. Josie, yes, it was great seeing you. Love you all. Hey, Gwen. Good night, Gwen. I'll see you tomorrow, Gwen. Bye, everybody. It was fun.